Welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Dave Allred. Today, I'm going to test your knowledge of your bar or restaurant's concept and theme to see if you really know what it is, as well as if it's aligned and consistent throughout your business. Because when it's not, it's like the invisible hand of death. Okay, your concept or lack thereof could be killing your business, but you wouldn't have any idea that it's the concept you have in place that's killing you because there's no way to track the success or failure of your theme or concept. Okay, nobody ever thinks about the concept after the restaurant opens. Okay, you might have had this grand vision, but once you choose the concept, most owners are done with it. Okay, you like brush your hands clean of it as if you just finished off a sandwich for lunch or completed some other menial task that you never have to think about again. Okay, now that might seem a bit exaggerated, but I would ask you, okay, when's the last time you thought about your concept or theme and how it's helping or hurting your business? Okay, don't answer that because today we're gonna dive in and I'm gonna ask you 7 concept and theme questions that will help you ponder and think about your business in ways you haven't in a while. Okay, since you first opened maybe. So you can reset the foundation for the entire dining experience for your guests and so you can define the restaurant's identity in a sea of other restaurants. Okay, and I do mean dive in and give you some actual meat, okay, some substance. Okay, not like some of those banal and painfully condescending experts on the internet who talk to you like they're a Sesame Street character and you're a 5-year-old.
Choosing a theme or concept. Place to start is with your own passion. What are you excited about? What fires you up? What are you thinking about?
What am I thinking about? I'm thinking about how I would love to just until you're gasping for your last breath. Okay, sorry. That was headed to a dark place. Let's shake that off and dive in. All right, just so you know, I am fully aware that it's probably not realistic to do a 180 and do a complete makeover on your concept. Like you can't be a barbecue place and then suddenly decide that you want to be a fine dining Italian place. Okay, does that make sense? But what you can do is make some tweaks. Okay, so here we go. Question number 1, who is your target audience? Okay, who are you serving? Who are the people in your community? This is crucial. You know, are you catering to families or young professionals, tourists, blue collar workers? Like who lives in your area? Now your theme and your concept should resonate with their interests, their preference, their spending habits. Okay, like you probably don't want to open a Dave and Buster's in the middle of the San Francisco financial district, right? Because that's for kids and kids don't work in the financial district of San Francisco. Okay, that would be illegal child labor. All right, hear me on this. Excuse me. The theme needs to appeal to the locals, not the owner. Okay, and in my experience, bar and restaurant owners can be some of the most egotistical people on the planet. All right, and perhaps that's the same with any owner of a business. I don't know, but I do know that many of them have these preconceived, cemented ideas about what kind of bar or restaurant they want without considering his or her local demographic or the demands of the locals. And no matter how hard you try and help them to see through their blinded, blurry vision that it's what the guests want that's important, they refuse to be helped and would rather go down a stinking sewer pipe than change what they want from the restaurant. Okay, so spend some time thinking about your community, you know, who those people are and how you can please them with a theme and a concept that they would get excited about. Okay, question number 2, what is your USP? Okay, your unique selling proposition. All right, what makes you different and stand out among a crowded marketplace? Okay, what do you do that people will talk about to others so you trigger word of mouth marketing, which is free marketing, of course. All right, go ahead, like write it down. What makes people excited about coming into your place? What makes it unforgettable? And if you don't know or you can't remember, I'm gonna say, that's bad. Okay, I don't care what your theme is, but whatever it is, it should inspire you. And you and everyone who works there should own it, like live it 100%. Right, for example, there is this great bar in San Francisco called Bourbon and Branch. I've talked about it before. It's one of my faves. Okay, it's a whiskey bar, but their theme is a 1920s prohibition style speakeasy. And in order to get into the bar, you have to enter through a back door in a dark alley, and you have to know the password, which they change every week, or you can't get in. Okay, and if you do manage to get in, once inside, they have 5 different bars, and some of them are even harder to get into once you're inside. Okay, to get into one of the bars, you have to literally go like Scooby-Doo style through a secret bookcase which opens like a door. It's awesome. It's very swanky. It's mysterious. They have gone above and beyond to create something so unforgettable that you can't help but share your experience with others. Okay, but the best thing about this theme is that they live it 100%. Okay, they aren't wishy-washy about it. They own it. They live it up. Okay, the bartender's got the whole get up with the black vest and tie and the little garter belt thing around their bicep. They got handlebar mustaches. They got classic cocktails. That's a concept and theme someone took time to think about and plan right, and they continue to do it consistently. That's a concept that has turned them into a destination spot, which means people will travel from miles away to go there because it's so unique. Okay, so figure out why you're so unique, and if you feel like you're not unique, do something about it. Okay, be the restaurant that has dressing Asians like they do at Asia SF, or be the place that has purposely rude servers that make snide and sarcastic comments like they do at Dick's Last Resort, or be the bar that sells crack cocaine in the bathroom. Okay, no, don't do that. But you need to be memorable because obscurity leads to death. Okay, so determine what your USP is and write it down with specific details. The more specific, the better, so everyone knows why you're so special. And if you don't have something that's that special, or you can't think of something, then go ahead and tie some rocks around your ankles and jump into a very deep lake because you are worthless. No, I'm kidding, of course. You're not worthless. You're awesome. Get your managers together, though, and brainstorm and do something to make your theme more memorable, even if it's a small tweak. Okay, got all that? Question number 3, what is the concept and theme of your menu? And I'm gonna go out on a limb with no safety net and say that food and drinks are an important part of your concept. Yes, I jest, of course. Food and drinks are the core of your concept, and the menu you put out should be aligned with your theme and concept. Right? Maybe you're focusing on a specific region's cuisine, like Italian or Mexican or Japanese. Maybe it's a niche, like plant-based food, or it could be a particular dining style, like tapas or farm to table. Okay, I'm not sure what your food concept is, but I'm assuming this is the most obvious one to identify when it comes to concept. All right, like we're a barbecue joint, or we're a pizzeria, we're a dive bar, we're a fine dining seafood or Italian restaurant. Okay, but with that said, I've seen some horrific menus out there, and they are created by an owner or a chef who simply wants to please everyone. And perhaps you've seen this too. In fact, a couple weeks ago, I went out to eat with my wife while we were traveling to Fresno, California to watch my daughter's basketball game. She plays in college. They were in a tournament, so we drove down there. It's about a 3-hour drive from where I live, and I'll apologize to the people of Fresno right now. I'm sure the people there are nice as pie, but it's got to be said, Fresno is a shitty place to live. Okay, or I guess I could be softer. I'm not trying to be a dick. Let's just say that I don't recommend it. It's flat, it's boring, it has industrial farming factories and equipment everywhere. There are some shady areas. It's just sort of like the ball sack of California. All right, I'm just keeping it real. All right, but the point of the story is the three of us, my wife and my daughter and I, went to a restaurant before the game, and it had a menu bigger than Tolstoy's War and Peace. I sat there thumbing through this thing, trying to decide if I wanted the monster burrito, the lasagna, the barbecue ribs, or the shrimp fried rice. Okay, I'm not kidding. They had food from every corner of the world, and it was a disaster. Okay, I couldn't tell if they were a Mexican restaurant or Italian or barbecue or Chinese because I honestly did not know. Okay, it's like going to your in-laws' house for Thanksgiving and they serve spaghetti and tacos for dinner, and you're like, I don't know if you even know what Thanksgiving is. Okay, you're just making a bunch of shit that you like. And if that's how you do it, like that, if that's how you do Thanksgiving, no judgment, but as a consumer of said Thanksgiving dinner, I'm simply confused as hell and I don't want to go back. Okay, I want my Thanksgiving dinner that I rely upon and that I expect. Okay, I'm just saying there are some of you out there who aren't paying attention. Okay, now if your menu is great and you love your chef and the menu that he's put out, that's great. But if you're someone who's trying to please everyone, you need to dial the menu down so that it's concise and consistent with your restaurant's theme. Okay, the simpler the better. Same with your cocktail menu. Don't try to be, Trader Vic's and put out 200 cocktails on the menu because you think it's cool. Okay, it's inefficient, it's wasteful, and your bartenders will murder you in your sleep. All right, question number 4, what is your ambiance and decor? Okay, hopefully it's something inviting. Okay, for starters, I highly recommend that you don't clutter up your walls with junky decor like bras hanging from the light fixtures or hundreds of $1 bills pasted all over the walls or wagon wheels on the ceiling. Okay, unless you're trying to appeal to hoarders and cat ladies who feel comfortable surrounded by chaos and disorder. All right, which reminds me, this isn't specifically a concept-based conversation here, but I'm going to include it. I'm going to include it anyway. I want to ask you, how is the cleanliness of your furniture and your decor? Okay, I know you probably wipe the tables down, right? You wipe the bar down. You clean the condiment bottles at the end of the night, right? The servers have side work. Okay, but do you get detailed, like with a flashlight? Do you do walkthroughs with your staff each night if you're the closing manager? Okay, how do your baseboards look? The grease traps in the kitchen, the light fixtures hanging from the walls and the ceiling. Okay, your windows. You should make your place spotless and then keep it that way. All right, lighting and music and decor are extremely important, but cleanliness is paramount to your success. Take pride in your place and your guests will know it. Okay, and we didn't really hit on lighting and decor, but of course, all of that, again, needs to align with what you're doing. Don't just throw in a bunch of couches in there and turn the lights on bright and just be playing Def Leppard and the classical music. Like, that's just confusing your guests once again. So make sure, once again, that all of that is aligned and keep your place clean. Hey, question number 5. What is the customer experience like? Okay, and I'm not talking about customer service. That's a separate conversation. Has nothing to do with the concept and theme unless your theme is to be like a bunch of assholes. Okay, service, style, and flow matter. Okay, if you haven't already, you need to consider how your customers will interact with your restaurant. Okay, and this includes things like reservations. Okay, it includes ordering, like online ordering, to-go ordering, delivery, and then when ordering in-house, is it full service? Meaning, do the servers take in place every single order? Or do the guests have the ability to scan a QR code and order themselves from their phones? Okay, or do you have a hybrid, which I highly recommend? Okay, that's when the guests have the option to order themselves or place an order with a server. All right, same with payments. Do the servers take the credit card and complete all the payments, or do your guests have the option to pay from their phones? And whatever you decide, the service should match the theme. Right? With an upscale restaurant, you probably won't have the scan the QR code and order and pay option from the phones. You'll have full menus that they can hold in their hands, and the servers will place the orders and run the credit cards. Whereas more casual restaurants or breweries might have the exact opposite and allow the guests to order themselves, and then the staff is there to support. All right, decide what works best for your theme, but make it consistent and don't be wishy-washy about it. All right, question number 6, what is your price point? All right, now, this might not seem like a concept or theme category, but the price should match the experience. Okay, in other words, your concept needs to align with your pricing strategy. Okay, and it's good to do some research and see what other restaurants around you are charging for their menu items, but it's important that you only compare restaurants that have a similar demographic of people that you do. Okay, comparing prices of restaurants that are higher end or lower end compared to you doesn't help at all. Okay, in other words, a high-end restaurant requires a different service level and decor compared to a budget-friendly or fast casual concept. Okay, so make sure your price point matches your target audience's expectations. That's a simple one. All right, and then finally, question number 7, what stories do you tell about your bar or restaurant? All right, that's right, stories, because I can hear you through my microphone right now. You're like, stories? You know, who am I, J.K. Rowling? You want me to tell them Harry Potter stories? All right, first off, don't be a smartass. It's unbecoming of you. All right, second, people love stories. They love behind-the-scenes stories that tell the origin of something or how it came about. Okay, your restaurant concept should have a story that customers can connect with. Okay, whether it's the history behind the cuisine, the inspiration for the design, or the journey of how the restaurant came to be, and especially the story of you, the owner, and your journey to become an entrepreneur and restaurant owner. Okay, storytelling deepens the emotional connection customers have with your brand. Okay, and emotional connection is the strongest anchor for getting people to repeat an action. All right, and in this case, the action we want them to repeat is to come back to your place again and again. Okay, so your story can be, excuse me, on the back of the menu or printed on a framed poster in the foyer where people are waiting, okay, or maybe near the bathrooms or on the wall somewhere. It can be on your website. But people want to root and support someone with a great story, especially locally. So make sure to tell yours. All right, and hopefully you have something good to share and you don't just drone on and on like my great Aunt Sylvia, who had a mustache and told horribly boring stories. I have confidence that you can come up with a much better story than my great Aunt Sylvia. I have confidence in you. All right, so those are the 7 questions you should be asking yourself when it comes to your concept. I'm not here to tell you what kind of bar or restaurant to run theme-wise, but I am urging you to step back and open your eyes and at least consider if what you have is not what people want. If it doesn't suit the locals, you know, all the restaurant management knowledge in the world won't save you because your place is going to be empty. Okay, and if you're a sports bar, you know, be the best damn sports bar out there. Don't be a sports bar and then try to be a classic cocktail bar or whiskey bar at the same time because you walked into a bar last week that was a whiskey bar and it was packed and you thought it was cool how they used like sprigs of sage to garnish their cocktails. If you're a sports bar, be the best damn sports bar ever, okay? Decorate it with sports memorabilia, have sports promotions, run a fantasy football league, have cornhole tournaments, etc., etc. Be who you are Monday through Sunday, from the menu to the events, okay? Making sure that they all align, and then find creative ways to distinguish yourself from other sports bars in the area so you don't just blend in. Okay, that's your USP. Okay, own your concept and be the best at what you do. Otherwise, your guests will be confused, and confusion does not lead to repeat business. Okay, I hope this helped you some, and I hope you have lots of ice cream in your future because ice cream is awesome, and I hope you make millions of dollars. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate it. I'm going to see you next time. I'm out.